The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality. This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, a podcast dedicated to the history and lore of the Final Fantasy series. Join us as we take a deep dive into the different worlds, characters, and so much more. Welcome back, Warriors of Light, to another episode of the Final Fantasy Lorecast. I am one of your hosts, Ben of Temeria, and always with me are my two amazing other hosts of the show, Trey.
Hello.
And Steven.
What's up?
And today's episode's going to be a little bit more loose than what we normally are with. So with today's episode, we're going to look ahead on what we would like to see in the series going forward. I know Trey came up with the question before we started the show of, ATB versus turn-based. Is that right?
And I mean, honestly, that was more when we were bouncing around topics, and I was like, well, we all loved 7 through 10. That's the sweet spot for a lot of the Final Fantasy fans, and that 10 went to turn-based, and it was a big change from the ATB of old. So I thought that might be a good topic. And then when we thought we might go bigger picture and talk about what we want next, the game has went away from turn-based for so long. I thought it might be kind of a good talk. What kind of, do we want them to go back to turn-based for Final Fantasy 17? Then just kind of expand on that once we dive more into what we're looking for from the series moving forward.
Yeah. So with that being said, who wants to kick it off?
Oh, this is easy for me. Turn-based is superior to all the other systems they've done in the whole series. Everything that ATB did, turn-based just improved upon, because you're not just sitting around waiting. Like, nothing drives me more crazy than playing, unless you've got it sped up. You're just sitting there waiting for your turn or trying to desperately do something real quick. Like the ATB was fun at first, but then once we got turn-based in 10, I was like, well, this is just so much better. I can actually strategize and plan out what I want to do.
So for me, ATB, I don't think of so much as like 7, 8, and 9, but more the 7 remake, where you have your abilities and your ATB bar goes up, and then you can hold down L1 and then hit one of the face buttons and do like Braver or whatever it was. I kind of expect it to go that way. I'm with you, Steve. I think I would prefer turn-based for the next one, but I don't think that's the way the series is going. I think the series is clearly going in the other direction.
Yes,
and for me, I like the way they use the ATB in the remake. You don't really have it I guess you have it with your summon moves in 16, but I much prefer the 7 remake style of you have your bar and then you have your abilities, and some of them cost 2, some of them cost 1. But I like that ATB implementation if we're going forward. Like for 17, I want to see the ATB style of 7 remake. I don't want to see them expand on like 16 style of abilities.
No, definitely not. Because it got to the point, like after the first hour, you're just holding square and then waiting for your abilities to reset, and you press whatever ability resets first. Like there's nothing interesting about it. It gets very repetitive and boring. That's why I don't like the action based games like 15, 16, and even the combat in 7. It was okay, the remake for me, but it was nowhere near like 10 and 12. I think 10 and 12 was the peak.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I would say mine, I love turn-based games because my first RPG ever was Star Wars Knights of the Republic, which is a turn-based combat system based off D&D. So, I mean, I would love to see a more turn-based style Final Fantasy in the next installment. Granted, knowing how video games evolve, that's not going to happen because that's just not really where the series is really going towards. If anything, for the next game, we'll get more of what they did in 16, or they'll just refine the style what the 7 remake has done and done like a hybrid action ATB / turn-based style. If anything, that's probably what I would like to see more going forward, knowing that we're probably not going to get a full-fledged like turn-based game.
I would love to see them do like a Baldur's Gate 3 kind of thing where it's literally like it's like combining tactics and some of the other games in the series. So you're literally like placing your characters because they need to have more characters than just one sad boy protagonist.
So you want a Final Fantasy Tactics remake?
I mean, sort of. I think
I don't want a remake. I want a whole branch off series. I want there to be a Final Fantasy Tactics, and just call it that. Just call it Final Fantasy Tactics and make a new one, and then in a couple years make Final Fantasy Tactics 2, and then in a couple years make Tactics 3. And I want it to be a running game because they make these turn-based RPGs like I think they make Bravely Default.
Mm-hmm.
They make other turn-based games, so we know they have the teams for it. We know they have the passion for it, and I know it won't be the same thing, quote unquote. But while it's clear the numbered Final Fantasies are heading towards the action RPG direction, I want to see another branch of them going back to their roots of the turn-based type stuff. You know, the slower pace type thing. The turn-based, that's where I'm at with it, because you guys are right. We're not going to get something that's turn-based in Final Fantasy 17 or 18 or 19 or 20, but I would love Final Fantasy Tactics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're right. Unfortunately, they're kind of like, they even said it when you boot up 15, it's like this is a game for first-timers and lifelong fans. They're trying to bring in a more broad audience instead of like the hardcore Final Fantasy fans, because we're all getting old. And a lot of people don't play it as much as they did when they were kids. So I think they're trying to make it appeal to a wider audience, and they think that the action RPG kind of thing is going to be what does it.
It's funny because I remember when 10 came out, they were appealing to the casual audience because it was an easier game because it was turn-based, so you could take your time and figure things out, and it was an easier game.
Was it easier? 10 was brutal at the end.
But like it was super, like if you play, it was super easy to grind and get over leveled. Like I feel like 10 was easier than 12 or 13. Like
that's true. Yeah.
So they do that, like they'll make games easier, and like you said with 15, then 16 did the same. But for me, I think we have to accept it. But I don't want just the single protagonist in your party like they had in 16. It was fine for the one game. I really enjoyed the storytelling, the way that they did it. But I want to get back to having a party. I want to get back to having multiple characters with multiple, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, piggybacking off of that, I mean, 16 was, I love the story of 16. I love the style they went with. And like 15, I liked it because you did have a party, but like you only had Noctis and your 3 companions, and that was it. Compared to you sort of had a party. Yeah, I want them, like with what Trey just said, bring the next installment. Literally bring in like where, hey, here's a roster of 10 characters that you can make a party out of.
Yeah.
because they haven't done that in a while.
That's why I'm saying the Baldur's Gate 3 model, where they could literally have like all these different characters, and you can have different parties doing different things. Like in the older games, you would literally have your characters in different parts of the world at the same time, and you would just play them in separate parties.
Mm-hmm.
Like 9, you were constantly separated because you had 8 characters, and so you were constantly having to switch them in and out or just being separated. And it was so much better. Like you were actually able to customize your party, which now you can't do that. You have, I mean, in 16 you had Clive, and you couldn't customize him at all, other than what his weapons look like. That was literally all you could do. It was so, even the stuff that you like, your armor and stuff, never changed. It was the exact same the whole time. There was no role playing in the role playing game, which is why I was really frustrated with it looking back.
Yeah.
So I think they can bring more of that customization. But also, if you think about, like, if they're working on 17 now, which they're probably just starting to throw things up on a whiteboard, what's the biggest thing in the world right now? I mean, Baldur's Gate just won Game of the Year, like unanimously almost. They've just swept the awards pretty much. So possibly they're looking at that going, okay, well, maybe that's what we need to do in order to, because like when they were started making 16, Game of Thrones was the biggest thing in the world. And now we got literally like their attempt at Game of Thrones. So whatever they're going to make is going to be what's the most popular thing in the world right now.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I can totally see them piggybacking off of Baldur's Gate because how popular it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
they've done that,
I mean,
it seems like.
I mean, yeah, they have. They have done definitely piggyback off of the successful titles and implemented systems or something similar enough to it to elevate the series as a whole. And with Baldur's Gate as big as it became, I definitely can see them taking inspiration from Baldur's Gate. I mean,
I feel like 17's probably sketched out a little bit, so maybe not 17, but definitely 18.
I mean, let's be honest. Most game devs are definitely going to take a page from, is it Lyson?
Yeah. Oh,
Larian. Sorry, Larian. I know it's hard to now. Larian Studios. Everybody's going to take a page from Larian.
They should.
Because what they did was phenomenal, and it won Game of the Year and pretty much every single category at the Game Awards.
Yeah. R.I.P. Spider-Man 2.
When you said a minute ago, though, that stuff that they were pulling from, I didn't think you were going to say Baldur's Gate 3. I thought you were going to reference Final Fantasy 16 and Fortnite. How the world is shrinking, like the map on Fortnite.
What's Fortnite? I don't know that game.
I never played Fortnite, so I don't know.
Oh, do they not have those in those other worlds where the map shrinks as the game goes on?
I've
never played Call of Duty's Warzone, so but I play that with my kid, and the map shrinks. And that's the big thing on Fortnite, how the games don't take very long because the map gradually shrinks, and that's the same thing on Final Fantasy 16. And when you said they take from what's popular, I was like, well, Fortnite's popular, and they took that shrinking map thing and put it into 16. But now I'm explaining the joke, and it's just not going over well.
Sorry. I'm not a Fortnite guy, so I couldn't. It was lost on me. But also that seems to be the worst aspect they could have taken from that model. As you got later in the game, I just was like, I want to go look around the world. Say in like 7, 8, and 9, maybe 8, I don't know. But in 7 and 9, as you get later in the game, you're literally free to go all over the entire map, and you get to do all the little side hidden stuff, which is sometimes the most fun part of the game. Like in 9, that's very much a big appeal for me, as you can travel the entire world. 16, it's like, all right, these entire parts of the world are blocked off now. You can't go here. I'm like, what? I want to go back there. There wasn't much to explore anyway, but
so
maybe something new would have popped up.
Off of that, let's get into our next question that we came up with. What would we like to see with the next protagonist? Because personally, I want to see not just one singular protagonist. I want to see like a duo with a party. like older games.
I like that, like a Titus and Yuna.
Yeah.
How they were the
have
leads,
multiple characters, multiple protagonists that you can connect with, or one you can
Sir,
connect
have
with.
you seen the
one
cover
not,
of Final
one not.
Fantasy X?
Yeah.
You can't call Titus is the main character of 10. Yuna is not the main character.
She's on the back side of the case. He's on the front. She's on the back. They're literally supposed to be. I listened to a breakdown of it, and they're literally supposed to be like yin and yang. They're supposed to be opposite. He's the sun, she's the moon. Like her name is Yuna.
Do you know what? Do you know why? Do you know why in 10 you can name Titus, but you can't name Yuna?
Well, they never say his name.
Because Titus is the main character. That's why.
Well, yes, he is, but they're equally as important in the story.
I thought you were going to go with the 12 correlation, where there's not really a main character.
There's no main character there. It's whoever you want it to be.
But I'm with that. I would like to see another female lead or woman lead. It could be girl even. I don't care. I think they've traditionally done well with doing a female lead. Lightning was good. I liked Lightning's character. Terra from 6 is like just one of the favorites. Celeste is one of the favorites. They've traditionally been able to do those roles in a very good way that I've enjoyed. So I would like to see that in the next one or two. But I definitely am with you guys. I want it to be bigger,
more explorable. 16 felt very contained.
That was a great point, by the way, that you made. How in 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, as the game goes on, the map gets bigger and you get to explore, and it's this big, wondrous thing, and you just get to kind of learn the world. You get to go out into the world. Mm-hmm. And with 16, it was the opposite, how they close things off. And I had never thought about it that way, but I just thought that was a really excellent point, and I wanted to shout you out on that before I forgot.
Well, thank you. I don't know a lot about 1 through 6, but darn it, I know a lot about 7, 8, and 9, or 7, 9, and 10 and 12. And yeah, those, even 12, you can literally go all over the world through a lot of the game. But once you get towards the end, it's like it's so easy to bounce all over the place, and you can go back and do a bunch of old stuff.
And Ben, it's like in 14 how you start out in the one area and then how it grows and it expands. And I can't imagine them making 14 and having the map shrink as the main story quest goes on.
Yeah, no, that game needs to be big because one, it's an MMO, it has to be big. But two, right, like for story progression, you need to add more to it. And you can't condense it for that. I mean, it's weird what I'm trying.
I'm getting ready to finish out the Dragoon storyline, and I see why you like. What's his name? Asterion?
No, that's
that's Baldur's Gate. Estinian.
Astinian. What? That was close.
Yeah,
Asterion is the guy from. I don't ever use him. I don't like his character.
I'm always a rogue.
So whoever the one is from 14, I agree. His story is pretty cool. I've enjoyed it. I just hit level 50, so I can finally go do the last quest.
Yes, it's such a great that quest is probably one of the best quests for the base game. Like for job wise, it is freaking awesome. But
then would you want another MMO like how they did 11 and then 3 games later they did?
I don't know if I want them to do another MMO. 14 fills the MMO and create your own character void of Final Fantasy. Now, would I like them to not have it as a subscription-based MMO? Yes, I would love to have them do that. They won't do that because
happen.
That's called profit.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen. But
this is where we're talking about.
Right.
You can do a lot on that trial, though. I played the.
That's true. I mean, and that's the thing. The trial,
hours.
Well, they just upgraded the trial to where it's all the way through Stormblood. So you have the first 2 expansions with the base game. I mean, that's a lot of content. That's hundreds of hours of content right there that you can easily do without paying. But I don't see a necessary of making a new MMO. I mean, all they need to do is, and what they're planning on doing, is up-resing 14's base game to higher quality standards with all the new stuff with Dawntrail that'll be coming out. And then they're going back and redoing a lot of the older areas in the game to make them upscaled as well. So everything is going to look so much nicer.
They can definitely do it. Like, I was just say real quick. Like, I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and I just got to the DLC, and just the small amount of time they had between the main game and the DLC, like they were able to work out facial, like the facial
expression.
Yeah, as they're talking, it's like night and day.
Yeah. The thing with single player games like that, they actually have a legitimate cast that come in to do mocapping, where with MMOs you have thousands of NPCs you have to deal with, and it's kind of a little bit different.
You can recycle them. People, I mean, the amount of stuff that's going on the screen, I don't think anybody's really going to notice if you got a couple of NPCs in the general vicinity doing the same thing.
And that's fair.
But I do think you're right though, Ben, that if that 14 is going to be the MMO going forward. I think it's got a lot of positive momentum right now, and I can't see them trying to take away from that player base.
Yeah. No.
It's also not a dumpster fire like 11 was, so they can keep it going.
Well,
all right, so let's...
Oh, go on.
Oh, no, go ahead, because I was going to move us off of it.
Oh, well, while we move off of that, let's take our mid-break now, and then we will come back with the last 2 questions.
Look at that showmanship.
This summer, say I do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show where we talk about everything with the podcast that has nothing to do with the lore of Final Fantasy. And here I want to thank all of our listeners and patrons that support us. If you want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/Final Fantasy Lorecast to get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show. You can also support us through Apple and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review on Apple with some words or even a nice comment on Spotify. We'll read those out loud on the show as well, which this week we don't have any, but that's all right. And then you can also follow us on a few different Discord servers, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show as well as the other shows that I host. And you can also find us on Twitch when we go live at 8 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday, or 5 p.m. Pacific, because math. And yeah, you can go follow us there. Go follow, get notified when we go live. That way you can help me go get affiliated, because I am very on the end cuff of getting affiliate. So close. So go help me out. I really appreciate it. Other than that, that's all I have. Pretty quick and simple. Do you guys have anything in that ad for the mid-break?
Still no.
Still no.
Still just doing this.
Still just this.
I got nothing.
All right. Well, let's get right back into it.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
All right, we are back. And Trey, what question are we going over next?
Oh, I don't know what the questions you have listed.
I don't know.
I don't do so well with tracking the things. But so my question I was going to bring up was we were talking about what we wanted from the next game. So let's assume you have the one main character. You've got your party of, you have 10, 11 people that you can get, but you've got your one main guy or girl that the story is clearly centered around. What job do you want them to have?
Ooh, that's a good question. Oh, shoot.
I got the double ooh with that one, and I am so satisfied with myself right now.
We've had good experiences with many different kinds. Like Zidane was a great thief class, but also Cloud was just straight warrior class. Titus was kind of the paladin, I guess. He was white mage.
Yeah, I think he had a cure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he could get it, but I love 9, so I'm tempted to say thief because they're always.
What if
they're
the
so much more
main?
entertaining.
Hey, hang on. What if the main protagonist could be ninja?
Yeah, well, yeah, that idea, thief, ninja, that kind of thing.
That, or I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing them bring back like a job board or job system to where you can mix and mash or use different abilities from various jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that. Just to add a little bit more customization to the game itself as a whole, where you're not just stuck with one specific job per character.
Like a 12 kind of thing where you can pick whatever class you want to be and then have a second that you can customize it. No Dragoons, Sharp. They're too cool. You can't have them be your...
Well, too bad, because that's my choice.
They can't be. They're too cool. They can't be the main character. The main character is always whiny.
Well, no, you just have a non-whiny Dragoon. You just have a non-whiny Dragoon. Like,
wait, whoa. Cloud was whiny?
Yes. Oh, he was such a sad
brooding.
Boy. Yeah, whatever. Broody, whining, whatever.
Two different
same
things.
Thing. I don't want
different roads. You get to the same destination.
That's right. I don't want another emo main character. No Cloud, no Squall, no Noctis, no Clive, nothing like that. Give me somebody more like Zidane or Titus.
Someone outgoing and
boisterous.
Fun.
Yes. Yeah. Fun that I want to enjoy playing, not being like, I'm so sad about everything. The world is dumb.
So you're saying I can't have a Geralt-like character as the next main protagonist?
Geralt is fun though. Like he's actually entertaining. He's not sad about everything. He's just very level.
Because he doesn't show funny. Emotion.
He does, which is
he does and he doesn't.
We're not on that podcast, but I would have thoughts about that. No,
can we get like just the happy, positive,
exactly
like, childish type character as the main one? Like 12 Penelo could have been like her personality type. Like I would. Well, I don't care. I would much rather them swing too far the other direction and go too nice and too positive than have another dark brooding or whiny character. So like I would love to see just make it a super nice, caring Dragoon who all they want to do is protect people. And the story, you've got your 8 to 12 different people, and the story is branching around all that. Like, and it's about them and their honor and their as a Dragoon and what they want to like. You can make it work.
Whoa! If we're having a Dragoon as the main protagonist, there has to be a revenge story somewhere.
Absolutely.
Well, like I said, there's 8 to 12. There's 8 to 12. There's not going to be 8 to 12 people left in the story after the backstabbing and all that stuff. But yeah, there's ample opportunity for bloodshed, sir.
How many times have we seen a character? I mean, obviously, other than the big one from 7, how many times have we seen a main character get axed before the end of the game? Like permanently die.
15. You see all 3, right?
You don't see it. Just the one at the very. That's what I'm saying. But that's at the very, very end.
Well, like Ignis gets blinded, right? And then doesn't Prompto get killed? And then I
he
thought
gets
all 3
kidnapped.
of them died. And then you died at the end too. I thought that was how the thing was. And then
because they help you at the very end.
I thought that was. I took that as like their spirit, but it's been so long, and I didn't care for the game, so
I was gonna say somewhere in 14, but I can't pinpoint a specific character on the top of my head.
Well, they could kill people off, and like if there's thousands and thousands of characters.
Well, like
I was gonna say, as Ben said, there's so many NPCs.
Well, that, but I meant like part of the Scions, which are the main group that you're a part of.
Yeah, maybe.
Even if there are, I hope you don't say it because I haven't gotten it
I
yet.
can't remember if there was, so.
It
But
doesn't seem like it. If it wasn't very impactful because I know you would have told us about it if it was.
Well, I haven't, like, I need to go back. Damn it, I have so many games to play.
I mean, in 10, literally, I guess it's at the end. Like, half the party is dead. Well, 2 of them at least are gone.
Well, 7, we had
That's
more.
what I'm saying. The big one in 7.
Well, there's a big one in 7, but there's also multiple, like, not main characters, but, like, part of your group that
characters
get axed. So, yeah.
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 Not in the remake, but yeah.
No, some characters that get axed in the remake.
Some of them do, but they save a couple of them for
just one. They saved one.
Are there
the worst one?
Are there any instances where the character starts out in your party for like disc 1, and then that character ends up being the villain? Like you level them up, you have their limit breaks and all that stuff, and then they turn on you.
I think the reverse in 8, right? You have what's his name, the guy that the movie in the very beginning that they're fighting.
Well, he comes with you on like one mission. Cypher does.
Yeah.
But he's not like he's only there for one mission. He's not there for like all of disc 1. That would be like in 7, if Biggs ran with you and Barrett in that first little run.
Well,
kind of equivalency. Like that kind of equivalency. But like you guys said, betrayal. You need a dragoon. What if you and your buddy, you guys are best friends and you're leveling them up, and then something happens halfway through, and then they become the main villain?
I'd be furious, honestly. But initially, I'd be like, all that time. But I get, that'd be a really good
plot twist.
Yeah, it'd be a good twist. I can't think of anything like that happening.
For some reason, I feel like there's something in the earlier games that I'm not as familiar with that someone's going to be screaming at us going, come on, guys, you should know this. But for anyone that is screaming that, we do apologize.
I'm working on 4 right now.
It's not Sharp because he's... Oh, so speaking of 1 through 6, there's a sale on Steam. Anyone that is looking to get the bundle, it's currently on sale. I'm waiting on the sale for PlayStation, but it's out there for any PC players.
Can I tell you? Well, speaking of 4, so I got it on DS because that's what I could get my hands on. And while I was looking up some things about it, there was a Reddit post on it, and it was like all these people saying how apparently the DS version is like way harder, and everybody who plays it just rage quits it because it's so much harder. I was like, what? So now I'm not going to be able to enjoy it. Yeah, they're like, definitely follow a guide and just be ready to grind because it's going to be a miserable experience. Oh, terrific!
Lovely.
They really sold the game to you, didn't they?
Yeah. I was like, maybe I'll just wait. I haven't made it far enough in there. I can just wait and buy the Pixel Remaster bundle eventually and play it on there. Because apparently it's just the DS version. They like scaled up the difficulty and made it like a master version.
That's fair. But that's fun.
I would love to have been in the meeting where they decided to do that.
Hey guys, let's re-release this older Final Fantasy title. All right, cool. What's this one you're gonna put on? Let's put on Nintendo DS. Like, okay, just to mess with people. Let's up the difficulty. It's like perfect. And
Take
you
that,
have,
Nintendo
and then you have that one person who's like, well, why can't we just keep the game the same? Everybody looks at him and throws him out the window.
Well,
So
there's
that-
4 versions of it on 3 or 4 different consoles.
This was the bad swing. See, we got this, and now we've went all the way to you can speed up the battles. You can be 99.9 health. You can do 99.9 damage. All those perks that you have on the games to make them not as long of a slog. So I'm glad for the little additions. I can't imagine being like, you know what I think we should do with this game? Let's just make it 4 times harder for everybody. That sounds like a good plan.
Exactly.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Speaking of backswinging, I wanted to ask this earlier. We were talking about how 16 is very contained, and my description of it is very linear because you go you cannot go off of the path. You have to follow and do it in a certain order. And from what I understand, 13 is the same way. It's literally like you're following a corridor almost. But in 15, it's wide open. You can go almost all over the world at pretty early on in the game. Why did they were like, okay, 13 people are clearly pissed about this, having to follow this straight line. And even 10 is similar to that as well. But then they corrected it in 15. Everybody liked it. And then they went right back to it in 16.
So with 16, I would say
I prefer the other.
I wouldn't say it's corridor based like 13 was or anything like that. 13 you had to go through the direct track. Now 16, I mean, it's all based on the story, where the story is very linear. They want you to specifically go these routes, but at least they have it to where, hey, here's side activities. Hey, you can still explore these areas. It's not like open world, but it's semi-open, compared to where 13 was just like a linear, straight up story.
Right, but they're heading more back to that direction after clearly, if you're going to go open world, go open world. Don't.
Yeah, but the thing was
I'm on the other side. I would prefer 16's version because it's
really,
it keeps the story grounded, in my opinion.
I mean, so for me, if you think of it as a map for 15, it's cool that you can run across the map, but I like fast travel anyway. So I would much rather, and I would like for them to have more to do. You're right in the sense of you traveled to an area and you knew the path you were going. It might be a wide corridor, but it's a corridor, and I would like for there to be more to do. But I don't care to have open world where I have to run for 3 minutes on a chocobo across all this grass and cutting across things just to get to the next town. I would much rather be able to load into that next town and then run and explore the area from there, especially if they're going to get to pump their resources into it. Like if they get to make it like how 7 just seemed like super detailed, super world building, expanding. If they could make those areas not so barren and instead make them full of life, I would much rather that than an open world.
Yeah,
right.
I agree, because I think that's why they went back to the style of semi-open with 16. Because 15, yes, it was open world, but it was vastly empty for an open world. I mean, to me, the map was way too big.
It was very big. There was that's because you literally had a car. If they didn't make it huge,
yeah, but
it
literally went from one town. I went from one town to another town in the car. It literally took me 4 to 5 minutes. Even I wasn't driving it. That was auto drive.
Well, yeah, and that you stop along the way, you see stuff on the side of the road. You're like, let me go do that real quick.
Give me the story.
Well, that's your that's the issue.
I would much rather them shrink the map 50% and have all travel by chocobo and still be traveling on chocobo and then see something off to the side and be, what is that?
Well, now, even 7, you literally were trapped a million different types of vehicles, and 9 as well. but you literally had to navigate your way to the next area. It didn't like be like, okay, this is where we go next. 16, you went to a certain point, and then it was like time skip. Okay, you walked across the country, and it was very frustrating.
On 7, though, up until what you get, because even when you get, I would say when you meet Sid and you get the boat, that's really the first time you're off the rails. Mm-hmm. I feel like until then you're on a corridor, because you're in Midgar, and then you leave Midgar, but you can only go to Calm, and then you can only go where the Midgar guy is, and it's very much on a corridor. It's just a bigger corridor.
Oh, you could go once you get the little car thing, the little buggy, or even when you
can go to Gongaga, can't you?
Yeah, you can go all over the place. You shouldn't, because you're going to get wrecked, but you can choose to go to those little areas. And 9, it's pretty quick into the game where you can go all over the place. Again, you shouldn't, but you could.
Oh, see, I thought that all of it was your level, and up until you got Sid's thing. So I was wrong on that one. That's my fault.
No, it's a long game. We
got to wrap this up, though. Ben's got Star Wars in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, that is true. I have one final question. For whatever we see in the next Final Fantasy installment, like the major installment, what type of world would you want to see? Do you want to see where it's like the hybrid fantasy mechanical world, or do you want to go back to more medieval fantasy style?
Yeah. Medieval fantasy. Give me 9.
you just want 9 remake. That's all you want.
I want the 9 world. You got
I do too.
The castles. You still have but it also throws in kind of steam engine. It's almost like Renaissance type of style. I think that was the apex. I don't think they can do better than that. So I'm not going to hold it to them if they can't create a world better than that. I just don't want another 7. That type of world.
Well, I don't think we will, because the 7 remake project is ongoing, and because we get Rebirth at the end of this upcoming month,
right?
And we still have a whole third part that we're gonna get. So whenever we get 4. No, it's only gonna. They confirmed it is a trilogy.
Oh, so they're gonna really?
It's gonna be a trilogy.
They're gonna speed up that last.
You don't have to speed up. Each game is going to be over 60 hours long. So.
Well, see, the thing is, I can't tell you what's going to happen because you haven't beaten the game yet. So I have a very good theory on how it's going to be a trilogy, but I don't want to spoil it for you.
Listen, I'm finishing the Horizon DLC, and then after that, I'm going to finish that. I literally have the last part.
But I will tell you, a trilogy makes a lot of sense given how 1 ends.
Oh.
Yep.
I have a feeling I know, and it's going to make me furious. So that's why I'm not in a rush. But I know I need to, because.
All right, you gotta shoot me a DM when we get out of here, and I'll let you know how worried you should be.
No, I don't want to guess and find out I'm right. I'll figure it out.
Oh gosh, but okay. I think the consensus is medieval style.
Yes.
I mean, obviously they're going to have technology of some sorts with magic stones and whatnot, and they use that as power, for airships and whatnot.
Sid's going to have airships.
That's for sure. We're going to have airships. I guarantee you on that. But I don't want to see a whole lot of Magitech.
Absolutely not.
Magitech's cool and all, but I want to go back towards the fantasy, actual fantasy style of Final Fantasy.
Don't give me any more of those goofy little fallen things where. In 16, I hated that. I was like, what are these alien robots? I don't want it. No.
They look like the things from Mass Effect.
They did. Yeah, what are they? The Geth?
Oh, the Geth. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
Dumb.
But this is a pretty good time to wrap up the episode. Do you guys have any final thoughts or anything else to add before we end the show?
No, let's make another 9.
1 month until Rebirth.
Yes, 1 month. We're recording this on the 30th. Rebirth comes out the 29th. So literally 1 month.
Woo.
So close.
I'm on the clock. I got a month to finish this last mission.
I finished the 7 remake. I finished it.
I know that should make me feel terrible. Even Ben finished it.
And I play way too many games. But yeah, we have a month till Rebirth, which is super exciting. So I'm sure in the next month we'll probably talking about Rebirth or some sorts of things upcoming for that. But yeah, thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, and may the crystals guide you. Thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net. You can find us on Twitter at FFLorecast, and you can email us at fflorecast@gmail.com.